Thanks again for the work you're already doing in flipped learning and your interest in the FLGI International faculty. This is a very exciting time to be in flipped learning. There is a rapidly expanding interest in flipped learning all around the world, and our aim is to establish and deliver the gold standard for flipped training to meet the growing needs. We are excited to start this journey with you, and we're encouraged by the quality of people who've expressed interest in the International Faculty Program. Building an international faculty is our biggest undertaking so far. Why? Because it involves regularly collaborating with many more people located all around the world in various time zones. Most importantly, it involves finding people who are well suited to the culture of FLGI. We'll talk more about the culture later. But first, let's answer your questions. We've divided the questions you submitted into two categories. The ones we can answer now, and the ones we're going to figure out later as a group. Here are the ones we can answer now. Please feel free to discuss these answers in the Group 101 forum. So let's have at it. Number one, would the faculty be full-time? Or instead, would you be ambassadors of flipped learning, spreading the word when opportunities arise? The faculty will begin as independent contractors, paid on an engagement-to-engagement basis. The program may grow to include full-time faculty, but we're not going to start there. Number two, how soon are you looking for people to start? As soon as possible. We're looking to establish the faculty as quickly as we've done everything else so far. That said, you should not make any high-stakes career changes based upon the international faculty at this stage. Number three, how much travel would be involved? The level of travel will be your choice. Those of you who want to travel and have the training and the skills, you'll get to travel. Those who only want to work locally, well, then you can work locally exclusively. Number four, how much experience would faculty be expected to have in flipping their own classrooms? All candidates will need to complete all of the core certification courses. Assignments will be matched to the needs of the engagement. Advanced assignments will go to those with advanced training and experience. Introductory assignments will be open to all. Number five, how closely will we be working with other faculty and other teammates? Global collaboration, sharing, and cross-pollinating is expected. Participation from silos will not be an option. Number six, will geographical distribution of the faculty be a consideration? Will it be harder to join the faculty in areas where there is quite a bit of interest? There is a growing need for flipped learning all around the world. We expect the need to expand. We also expect that the presence of trained faculty in a geographical area will stimulate demand. Will there be limits? Probably, but that's not a problem we'll be facing initially. Number seven, will faculty be doing research or primarily offering workshops and talks? Faculty will primarily do workshops, talks, and consulting. Those interested in research should apply to join the FLGI Research Fellow Program. Number eight, are those interested in becoming faculty expected to maintain paid subscriptions to the training courses, or would access to that material be included in your involvement in the faculty? Yes, you will be expected to pay to get trained and stay current annually to stay active on the international faculty. Our legal structure will not allow us to cover training. Number nine, how many individuals will be selected for the faculty? We don't know how many individuals will be on the faculty at this stage. The answer will be driven by the demand for training and interest from trainers. Balancing the two will be a challenge. Number 10, is this something where you start small to ensure the integrity of the training that the faculty provides? Our goal is to establish the gold standard for flipped training. We have to ensure that the quality and training the faculty provides meets that standard, so we will start and scale accordingly. Number 11, Would there be different levels of certification within the faculty? Would some individuals be trained to train teachers how to flip, where others are trained more in a keynote presentation style? Yes, there will be levels and specialists. Number 12, what are the plans to integrate into university? We are seeing strong interest in flipped learning at the higher education level. We continue to develop programs that serve this part of the flipped learning community. Number 13, what are your approximate timeline and milestones? The timeline starts now. The process begins with candidate screening, then moves to training, organizational structure, development, project piloting, evaluation, and then scaling. The need is now. The timeline is as soon as possible. Number 14, what is the time commitment? Beyond the basic time required to stay current on the certifications, the time depends on the available time that each of you as a faculty member has. Number 15, what role might an instructional technologist or instructional designer play on the team? Are there other roles you envision needing as well? There's a need for various types of levels of training: technologists, instructional designers, and content area specialists. There will be many and diverse roles to play. Number 16, do you already have established clients in place requesting these services, or will you need to market from the ground up? We've established clients and receive new requests weekly. Our programs, books, and outreach generates additional requests. Number 17, will faculty teams be assigned to specific geographic areas to build relationships and analyze needs, or will travel occur only to complete training, or a combination? Faculty teams will self-select based on location, interests, travel, and the training competency levels of members. Number 18, what is the detailed job description? At this point, there isn't one. We're servicing the training transition needs of educators, schools, systems, and companies around the world. The work and the faculty will adapt to the needs that arise. Number 19, does a faculty member need to be FLGI certified in order to be eligible for the international team, or can training be bypassed if experience and competency can be proven? The two top priorities of the international faculty are setting a global gold standard for training and delivering a consistent training program anywhere in the world. Achieving these objectives requires every faculty member to complete all the basic training certifications. Number 20, on what statistical basis can you affirm that a country is developing flipped learning, the degree of intensity, and the territorial scope? We have market data on the growth of flipped learning in the various regions of the world. Number 21, is not the development of flipped learning more of a private initiative than a public policy, for example, from a Ministry of Education? Flipped learning initiatives around the world are being driven both by the individual initiative and also public policy. Last question, number 22, what would you say is your first priority? It's to get the right people on the bus. Once the right people are on the bus, we want then to ensure that the right people are in the right seats. Let's return now to the topic I raised at the beginning, the culture of FLGI. Behind the scenes at FLGI, the core team has worked hard to cultivate and maintain the culture that has been driving the organization for the last year and a half. It's based on a few key principles. Critical that we understand these. Number 1, we are hyper-purpose driven. Number 2, very, very important, we park our egos at the door. Number 3, we practice radical candor. Number 4, we expect each other to grow. Number 5, we collaborate globally. We've all either seen or worked in organizations that identified a set of core organizational ideas and then ultimately failed miserably to execute it. Arguably, this is the norm. In fact, it's pretty rare to find an organization that actually succeeds at operating by its core values. In practice, we've found that it takes an enormous amount of effort to operate by our core values. It's hard, it's often uncomfortable, and at times it's messy. It requires humility, self-reflection, and the ability to confront and communicate through difficult subjects. It requires hyper-flexibility, the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn, and the ability to place doing what's right over being right. I can personally tell you that this is all much easier said than done. We are convinced that the success of the International Faculty Program hinges on our ability to expand this culture to faculty members. Succeed, and we will have a great impact on education around the world. Fail, and we'll be just another grand education initiative that was either unable to get traction or failed as it scaled. One faculty candidate said it best when he said, "Virtually all of you," that's you listening, "are qualified in some pedagogical aspect of flipped learning. Those who are not can be trained." But as management guru Peter Drucker once quipped, culture eats strategy for breakfast. Culture should not be underestimated or overlooked. So our primary initial goal is to get the right people on the bus. The right people are defined as those who can embrace the culture of FLGI and do the hard work of maintaining and extending it. The selection process is designed to screen for the right fit. We're paying less attention to what candidates say and are laser focused on what candidates do. A candidate recently asked if we could make the application process easier. We replied with candor, "Building an international faculty is not going to be easy, but it'll be worth it." If you're still interested in being a part of the FLGI faculty after this briefing, then we invite you to submit your application for Group 201 below.